Of course, on Saturday night, I do. I love this. It's one of my favorite events in town of the year. USD is going to be playing on the road at San Diego State. That game is going to be heard right here on San Diego Sports Leader at 6:45. It's the city championship. We go out to the Western Exterminator hotline, as we always do on Wednesdays, and we say hello to Brian Dutcher. He's the associate head coach and the head coach at waiting at San Diego State, who are in the middle of a 9-game stretch, a 9-day stretch, I should say, in which they're not playing games. So how does that work? Well, here he is, Brian Dutcher, back on San Diego Sports Leader, XX1090. Hey, Dutch.
Hey, Darren.
How we doing?
Doing good. We're in the middle of finals week or toward the tail end of it, and looking forward to getting back on the basketball floor.
Well, how do you keep everybody fresh from a basketball standpoint when you have this kind of delay or this kind of time off between games?
You know, we mix it with days on and days off. I mean, we're resting our legs a little after we played last week. We took Friday and Saturday off, and then we're taking today off practice. And when we go really hard, but then we try to rest our legs also. And so it's just a mix to try to keep them fit, but yet not overdo it.
Well, is this considered a good thing? Or is this considered, would you prefer that this were later in the season? I mean, how do coaches generally view having this much time off during a season?
Well, I guess the good thing is you get it off after a victory. I mean, the worst thing you want to do is lose a game and then set 9 days before you play again. So we've had a nice little stretch. We've won some games. We are feeling good about ourselves. Yet we know we've got to get better, and I think the kids realize that it's a veteran team. And so we're getting good positive work done in between games.
We're talking to Brian Dutcher, San Diego Sports Leader, XX1090. Dutch, I got knocked a little bit by some of your fans on Twitter, on the almighty Twitter over the weekend, because I was watching Vegas play against Cal. And Vegas Vegas beats Cal. And I put out on Twitter, and I said, hey, that's a good win for the Mountain West Conference. And, boy, your fans didn't really like that. As a coach, do you root for the teams in your conference when they're playing out of conference?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing is, Darren, we want everybody in the conference to have a strong winning record and a strong RPI. So when we play them, they're good RPI wins. You know, if all the teams in the conference are losing, then you can't raise your standing in the nation or in the RPI by playing low RPI teams. So the better Wyoming does, who's undefeated, and Colorado State, who's got just a couple losses, and Vegas, the better it's for all of us in the end. It means more teams in the NCAA tournament come March.
Absolutely, and it also gives you guys credibility, not that you need it, but as a conference itself, the Mountain West Conference, the more quality wins you could have, the more people are going to view you guys when you all battle each other out here and everybody plays each other during the conference schedule. People are going to say, yeah, but look what they did out of conference. They took care of a Pac-12 team here or a couple of Pac-12 teams there or a Big Ten team here. I mean, all that stuff adds into the formula.
Absolutely, and that's what killed the Pac-12 last year is the fact that the first year in the history of their conference, the team that won the regular season conference title did not go to the NCAA tournament because as overall their conference RPI was so low because they got no good out-of-conference wins, and so when they got to the conference schedule, nobody could raise their RPIs. So we definitely want the Mountain West to win every game they play in the non-conference.
How surprised are you by what's happened to the Pac-12? I mean, that you guys, you have, in every sense of the word, you guys have passed them, meaning the Mountain West Conference. And is it a big surprise to see what's happened to the Pac-12?
You know, Darren, basketball runs in cycles like anything. And right now, the Mountain West is on a real positive cycle. We're winning a lot of games. There are a lot of good teams. But a couple good recruiting classes here and there by the Pac-12. And then they're going to climb again. So I think it's just the way college basketball works, you know, as a whole. Right now, our conference appears to be a little stronger than the Pac-12, but we have to continue to work hard to keep it that way. The Pac-12 obviously is out there trying to grow their programs through recruiting and through scheduling, and it's just year to year how that thing's going to turn out.
We're talking with Brian Dutcher, associate head coach, the head coach in waiting. You guys get USD coming up. Now, USD might not, in your fans' eyes, be Vegas or New Mexico, but how big of a rivalry is this? How significant of a game is this coming up Saturday night in your gym?
It's significant. We played the start of last year's game for our team yesterday when USD went ahead 14-2 at the start of the game at the Jenny Craig, and it doesn't take long to see on tape that these games are hard played. They're close games, and if you don't bring your best effort, you're going to lose.
And they've won 3 straight too. So the way they started their season, it's fair to say, right, that you're getting them as they're playing their best basketball, even if it is during the early season.
Absolutely, and they lost some really close games, and having watched tape, I think it definitely hurts them not to have had Manresa. He's battled that back his whole career, and now he seems to be getting back on the floor. He gives them a real strong inside presence that they can go to get baskets inside, and I think with him getting back healthy and the continued growth of their backcourt, Anderson and D, that they're getting better. I think they're going to be real competitive in their conference this year, and hopefully both teams will play their best this Saturday, and the Aztecs will find a way to prevail.
Do you guys make any wagers there? Any friendly wagers between the coaching staffs?
Just think of the question you just asked right now.
Okay.
Wagers at USD. Come on, guy.
Oh, that's a good call. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No.
I hope Billy Greer isn't listening.
No, we're great friends with those guys, and if for other than 2 hours on Saturday night, we're great friends. We get along. We like to help each other's programs as much as we can, whether it's we saw a kid that you might be interested in, or we like the way you're playing. And when we get done playing, we'll critique each other's teams and hopefully point out some things that both teams can grow from. But no, we have a great relationship with Ferreros.
Do you guys are you in competition with one another for recruits? I mean, do you find that yourselves and the USD coaching staff that this is potentially a tiebreaker? Because it seems to me like you guys get the lion's share of the recruits, but do you consider USD, are they competition for you?
Yeah, they're always competition. It's just a different type of a situation. I mean, obviously the conferences are different. Both conferences are good, but it's a private school versus public school, and there's a lot of different things that go into that choice. So both programs have a lot to offer, and we're both looking for the right fit as far as player and student that we bring in here. So, we run across each other from time to time, and but usually it's they're pretty well decided what way they want to go. It rarely comes down to us or them. It's usually early in the process they might say, I'm more interested in SDSU or I'm more interested in USD.
Last thing before we let you go, your last game was against Santa Barbara. They represent the Big West. Any sort of motivating statement that you guys wanted to make there, seeing as how all signs indicate that you will be playing in that conference next year?
It's just we've always had a good rivalry with Santa Barbara and Bob Williams. Last year's game went to overtime, and they've got a good program. It's just this year they have some young freshmen. I think 4 out of their top 8 were freshmen, and they're just getting their feet underneath them. So I think they're going to be real competitive in the years to come, and I know it'll develop into a great rivalry, and it's one that our fans can get in the car and drive down and support us in both arenas, both here at Viejas and then down there at the Thunderdome.
Well, Coach, good luck this weekend. Thank you, as always, for your time. We'll talk to you next Wednesday.
Thanks, Darren.
Appreciate it. Brian Dutcher, Associate Head Coach and Head Coach in Waiting with